Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. You've probably seen a lot of videos already, a lot of articles about the EOS R5, the announcements that Canon made just a few short days ago. We had more of a feature drop. We learned more about what video capabilities the EOS R5 was going to have. And really, we didn't learn too much more than that. Unfortunately, we didn't hear anything more about availability or pricing, but we think we have some stuff to go on. So let's dive in and look at what was announced. Though Canon had previously announced that the EOS R5 would have 8K, we now know that it will be 8K at 30 frames a second with the ability to record RAW. That's right, 8K RAW 10-bit. You'll be able to record that in H.265 in either a Canon log format or in an HDR PQ format. Those same specs carry over into the 4K aspects of the camera. However, we have the ability in 4K to record up to 120 frames a second, which is pretty exciting. All that is for internal recording, which can be recorded to either of the two card slots available. However, I imagine that the 8K will be reserved strictly for the Express card, whereas 4K you'll be able to record, I imagine, to both the Express card or your SD card. We also know that in-body image stabilization will be offered in 8K, and we will have full frame, full sensor readout. They've said full sensor readout for both 8K and 4K. We're currently assuming that that means we're going all the way across. We have no crop factor, which is some pretty exciting stuff. Now, while they haven't said anything about the 1080p capabilities of the camera, personally, looking at both the 8K specs and the 4K specs, I imagine we'll see 1080p at up to 240 frames a second, which will be pretty exciting for doing slow motion work. One of the things I'd really like to see though is kind of an intermediate resolution, something between 1080 and 4K that we can shoot at, like a 2.7K. This is something I have available on one of my action cams and that I really like because it gives you a step up from the 1080p without having to commit fully to 4K. And for those of us that have limited drive space, we can't really handle 4K files right now from just a storage perspective. I think that'd go a long way to helping us both get crisper video without having to worry about where we're going to put all the files. From an image standpoint, it's exciting that we will have a 20 frames per second silent shutter and a 12 frames per second mechanical shutter. Now this is a huge upgrade over the EOS R, which tops out around 10, and that's in perfect conditions. As I've been looking at this camera and getting pretty excited about it, one of the things I've been concerned about is what its shutter speed would be, because that's one of the things where, though I don't shoot too much action, I definitely want to make sure that when there is action, I can get a lot of frames and hopefully catch the picture I'm wanting. One of the things that caught me off guard a little bit was finding out that the EOS R actually shoots better than my 80D, which I don't know why I thought my 80D shot more than about 7 frames a second, but I did. And then I looked at spec sheets and found out, no, the EOS R will actually outperform it. So that was kind of funny. It was rather amusing. So seeing that the EOS R5 will more than double that is pretty exciting. You know, I'll wind up going to my sister's lacrosse game she coaches or something, taking photos there, or if you're just out, you're shooting bridals, there's action going on, who knows what, you're able to get a lot of shots really quickly. So that's something that's really exciting to see. As I've been working on photos and video here, one of the things I've noticed with my ADD is things just are never quite as crisp as I'd like them to be. They're never quite as sharp. And part of that might be on me, just not really going in post and sharpening things up a little bit. But it seems like a lot of the stuff that I get produced and that's coming out of the camera and such is just kind of muddied. And that's something that I would hope moving to like an R and R5 would be remedied some, both with the improved glass, as well as just the general image processing capabilities of the R, the R5 themselves, and just how much more quality I'm hoping to be able to extract out of those. Now, some of the things I think we were really hoping to hear during the announcement was about both availability and pricing. Now, looking around on the internet, there's people that are saying anywhere from like 2,000 upwards to 10,000. However, most people seem to be falling around kind of the 350 mark, which is personally about where I'm budgeting. My guessing is this is kind of the middle of the lineup, being that there should be an R7 coming, an R1 coming, we've got an R6 that we know is in the works. So I'm expecting it'll probably be around the 350 range. That kind of puts it in line with the 5D Mark IV, but also shows it as being a step down from the 1DX. So that's what I'm really hoping for. It looks like, looking at most comments across Instagram, Facebook and such, that seems to be about where people are kind of expecting it to come in most often. As long as it comes in around that 3,500 mark, I'm going to be pretty stoked, probably pull the trigger on it. If it comes in anything below that, I think a ton of people are going to be excited. I think you'll probably see this camera all over the place in short order, aside from the possible actual availability aspect of who knows how many there's even going to be at launch. So unfortunately, we still have no idea when availability is going to be. We know that Canon was probably expecting to have this ready for the Olympics, but due to current events, everything's been kind of postponed. Hopefully over the next few weeks, we'll know a bit better what Canon's planning for this camera. We'll get a few more feature drops, and hopefully some availability and pricing news. So all of that aside, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy. Got a bunch of stuff in the pipes I'm working on. We've got some videos coming up. There's a few people I'm working with. Try to get a few more cinematographic type videos done. So we're working on that. It's kind of slow coming, but there's a lot in the pipe, so keep your eyes out. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to be notified when stuff like that goes live. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and I will see you guys next time. So long.